Mama?
Hi everybody, this is Emily for Help Me Mama, and today I'm going to be doing birth story number 4 with Luke. You guys, meet Luke. This is our newest baby. Can you see him in the light? He's so handsome, you guys. He's my little puppy dog, my teddy bear. Oh, I love him so much. So tonight I'm going to tell you guys how he was born. He was born on July 25th, and I have to back up, of course, because I am who I am. And with his pregnancy, I was the most pregnant I have ever been. I only came 8 days early, and so a couple of weeks before that, on 17 and 16 days early, as you guys know, I had Ryra and Melly 2.5 weeks early. So at that time, 2.5 weeks early, I was, feeling like, okay, baby is gonna come now, right? Baby's gonna come. Baby did not come yet. Oh man. And so for a couple of days I'm so spoiled. I was feeling really low because I really wanted him to come, and it's July and we're in California and it's hot. And I was so big and heavy. And I was a little bit grumpy. And then I listened to one of my favorite podcasts, the Sheologians. I'll just give them a shout out. One of their latest ones was on God's sovereignty, and it was a very good kick in the pants, reminder that me having a hard or tiring or hot last month of pregnancy is not just for discomfort, it's for sanctification. The Lord has a purpose in all those things. It was a reminder to me to look for God's purposes, ways that I could be sanctified in that time. And so that was good. And I kind of got over the disappointment of not coming as early, of the baby not coming as early as I thought. Now the other thing that was hard was that with my other pregnancies, I would have Braxton Hicks, but they would not be painful. This time, I felt like I was in labor for 3 weeks. I mean, early labor. Not really painful, but all over my stomach pain. With Melly, my contractions, even when I was in labor, were very low, very small. But I had real contractions. Braxton Hicks contractions that felt like real early labor contractions for weeks. Every time I walked somewhere, if I walked 10 steps briskly, if I went up the stairs, it would be like, whew, man, that one hurt. And you guys know, I've probably mentioned before, we live in a 3-story condo, and our bedrooms are on the top and my laundry is on the bottom. So I do a lot of stairs, and I carry loads of laundry walking up those stairs. And so it was a hard last couple of weeks. Just all those little pains, they just kind of add up. So anyways, I felt like I was in labor, and then every time I would have a couple of those contractions in a row, I'd be like, am I in labor? It's funny how pain is exciting when you're pregnant, right? Am I in labor? And then I would go to sleep that night thinking, maybe I'll have a baby tomorrow. And I would not have a baby because they were not real contractions, or they just, I don't know, haven't developed or whatever. So anyways, my neighbor and I, my dear sweet neighbor and I, were due to 1 day apart. And she was due after me. And the baby came the day before he was born. And I was so excited. I really was so excited for her. And then the excitement was starting to give way to a little bit of sadness and feeling like, I really want this baby to come soon. But a couple of my friends came over that day, and they helped me just kind of stay distracted. It kept my spirits up, and their kids played with my kids. It was wonderful. And so then we were at the pool that night because it's been so hot. And again, I felt like, okay, I think I've had like 4 or 5 contractions. And these seem like they could be a step up, but I'm not going to get my hopes up because I've been having these for weeks now. So I was in denial from when we went to the pool at 5 until 11 o'clock at night. But I was having contractions. And so I thought, well, if the baby's going to come, if I actually am in labor, which I'm probably not, I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to hang up on the walls. I nest like a crazy person. So I hung up all that stuff. And then when I sat down at 10, I was like, okay, if I have like 10 more contractions while I'm sitting down resting, then I'll think that I'm in labor. Well, I did. But I just was not convinced because I had been having really hard Braxton Hicks. So I don't remember what time I actually was convinced. Probably when we went to bed, I was like, you know what? I think it's going to happen tonight. If I can go to sleep, though, we'll see. So anyways, I couldn't go to sleep, really. I rested. We let my mother-in-law know that we might need her to come over in the middle of the night because the baby was maybe coming. We still weren't sure. And so from 11 to maybe 1:30, I kind of forget the timeline. It's really hard to keep track of the time when you're in labor, okay? Somebody else is supposed to do that, right? So labored until one of those wee hours in the morning. And then I could no longer lay down through the contraction and rest. I needed to be in a better position for coping with the pain. So I got up and came downstairs, had a snack, and ate too much toast. I thought I was going to be in labor for a lot longer because all of my labors technically have been like 16 hours. And so I ate like 2.5 pieces of toast because I knew I would be so hungry if I didn't eat for that long because we had dinner way earlier. So ate too much toast, almost threw up on the way to the hospital, but didn't, thankfully. And then after I had the toast and went to the bathroom, I was like, oh, we need to go to the hospital now. So I called my husband, he did not wake up. And I texted my husband, he did not wake up. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I have to climb these stairs again. So I climbed the stairs and I was like, get up, we gotta go to the hospital. So he got ready quickly, called his mom, she was here in 5 minutes. We were in the car, and then I called my doctor. I don't think that he believed I was far along in labor because I was between contractions when I was talking to him. I'm pretty sure he went back to sleep because when we got to the hospital and they called him, he had not left the house, and he got there in less than 15 minutes, thankfully. So we got to the hospital, walked in, and by this time, I'm doing all the stuff. I'm trying to make it through the contraction, But I handle them better now, I think, and maybe they're easier after 4, I'm not really sure. So anyways, we get to the ER counter and they're like, is this your first baby? And I was like, fourth baby. And they zipped me down to labor and delivery so fast, they knew baby was coming. So when we got there, again, the nurse didn't think that I was going to be that far along because, in between contractions, I was still feeling okay. And then I felt like they were taking their sweet time getting it. No, they really weren't. They were doing fine. I was just feeling that coming. When they finally checked me, we're in the triage room, and I like to tell them how many centimeters to tell me that I'm at for encouragement. So I told her I want to be at 8 centimeters. And she said, yeah, we'll see if you're there. She checked me, I was at 9.5 centimeters. And I told her, I am going to need to push soon. I can feel the urge is coming. And she's like, oh my, call the doctor, get her into a delivery room. They zipped me again all the way down there. And by the time we got to the delivery room, it was probably only 20 minutes between ER and the delivery room. But, oh man. I went from feeling like I was doing okay to needing to push the baby out very, very quickly. So by the time we're in that room, it was not very long. And he was born at 3:13 a.m., way faster than any of my other babies. It was just a whirlwind. It was so fast. My doctor, thankfully, zipped over there. He told us that he had never driven, I don't know if he'd never driven, but he said he put on his scrubs while driving so that if he got pulled over, the police officer would let him go because he sped to the hospital. He got there faster, they said, than any doctor has ever come in response to a call. So I'm so grateful to him. And he was there. I was telling him, look, I will push without him. I told the nurse, I'm going to push without my doctor if he is not here. But thankfully he was. And it was weird. With Melly and Rai Rai, the urge to push was very clear. Like, gotta push now. This one, it was like, I feel the urge to push, but not as strongly. So maybe I should wait? Oh no, that was it? Okay, now I'm gonna push. In any case, he came out with 2 pushes, but they were awkward pushes, if I could put it that way. And he arrived safely. You guys, I just can't tell you enough. Like, the size says it all. Having a baby is the most wonderful thing in the world. This time I did have back labor again. Ivan had to rub my back. I told him to like make his hands run on my back like this. The tennis ball did not work this time. And man, I forgot how hard back labor is. It feels like you have suspenders on, bucket pants suspenders, and they're suspenders of pain, like bucket pants of pain, and someone is pulling them up your back. Oh man, the pain is like, it hurts a lot. Okay, so the last couple of things I will say about baby number 4 is that, again, the moments in the hospital, just cherish them when they first arrive and when people get to meet them for the first time. And I love when our babies get to meet the new baby. That to me is like one of the most special moments. He also pooped all over my sister like 7 times in the hospital, which was another classic moment that I will cherish for other reasons. But it's just a wonderful time. It's wonderful, and I am so grateful that God has answered our prayers. I have noticed this time, I feel like it multiplies each time. Whenever we have a new baby, I always worry. I think every mom worries. Am I going to have enough love, enough attention, enough everything for the new baby? And on the one hand, I always say no. No, you will not have enough. Even if you have one baby, you do not have enough love and attention and everything for that baby. And that just points to our need for God. It points to our need for the love of God. We have a need for His love. And another person's love is not going to be enough. Even mom's love, which is hard for me because I would like to be enough love for them. But again, we just have to direct our children to the Lord. And then the other thing is that just like God gives moms just an inordinate amount of love for that new baby, I feel like this time around, each of my children has received that love for new baby too. And they love him. And really, the Lord has just answered our prayers. And yes, they get crabby at me because I'm not giving them the attention that I usually give them right now. He's 2 weeks old and we've had a couple of rough days. But they do love baby. And it's like they love him just as much as they ever loved each other. And it's just amazing to see. They have been really, really sweet to him. And it warms my heart. And I'm so grateful for all the moms that came before me and told me and what to do and gave me tips. So just passing them along. Having the baby things out really helped. And pretending with a baby doll really helped. I think that they were a little bit more prepared because of those things, and just praying for new baby, and I'm going to do a couple of videos, I think my next ones, on things that I have learned from the first time I had another baby, second baby, to the 4th time. So we'll see if those will be helpful to you. But man, having babies is the best. It's just, he's a whole new creature. He's a whole new person. And it's just amazing. I can't believe he was in my belly. It's nuts, right? Anyways, this is Emily and Luke. Say bye-bye. Thanks for watching.